How many times do you get up after being knocked down? How hard do you train to be the best? When are you satisfied? How does it feel to reach the summit? How do you quench the hunger? The answer to these questions can only be answered by those who are giving it all.
Hey, how y'all doing today? This is Mr. Wayne Buckingham, aka Big Buck, here at W.A.B.Sports-Talk. We have a special treat for y'all tonight as we go on. We got Mr. Otis Nixon, former baseball player for the Atlanta Braves, is coming on the show tonight. Spend some time with us, along with Mr. West. Mr. Otis, he has a great thing going on. His brother book tour, and we're gonna give him the opportunity to talk to him and see what all the stuff he's got going and what he's doing in his community. Hey, Mr. Otis, how you doing today?
Guys, I'm doing great. Just put in about 30 minutes ago. Wes, I've been keeping up with you on Facebook, you and your lovely bride and everything. And it's good how you promote, and it's good what you're doing. I love you. I sent a note last night. That's my family. I was way up in the mountains when I did that. But Coach Buck, I just came off the road, getting something set up for the second tour. And we'll talk about this later, about how we have to do things. Things have changed. The game has changed. We have to wear masks. We can't get quite as close to God. They can't kiss, hug on you as much and everything, which West and I, we're going over that and everything. But I'm getting excited, man. When I get close to doing, and the place that I'm starting my tour is in Chatsworth, Georgia, not Chatsworth, Tennessee, ladies. That's Tennessee guy. But anyhow, that's what we got going on, Coach Buck and everything. But thank you for having me on tonight, brother. My brother can't make it tonight. He's got some kids over there.
Okay, yeah.
Handling his business. But I tell you, I showed some guys up there, got the biggest car show I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Healthy. He's got Andrew Jones' car up there and maybe 100 more, some of the best looking older cars, antique cars I've ever seen. And I went to see him, and they put him in the hospital, and he did catch COVID, but he took the shot and got sick. He caught some symptoms, and he couldn't fund. He started sweating and everything. All his other partners are good, so guess what? They said, we ain't going to take that shot right now because he's in the hospital. But you need to take the shot. I suggest that anybody can get it because it'll help you. But if you got other health issues, it can make you go a little bit discombobulated. So they're watching them. And so, no, I'm not starting my show out on the road down in another state. I'm coming up to Chatsworth, Georgia, JW Sports Apparel, and where we've started doing this and everything. And I'm bringing a couple of my friends, which we were talking about, my brother and Quincy and Jermaine. And I'm really excited about it.
Right. So my question to you, Mr. Otis, is I know we know a lot of people know a lot about you. You played baseball, and you was a very great baseball player. One of my favorite players. I say it all the time when when we have you on the show and stuff. Just want to let before we talk about the actual show and the signing, is just give the viewers and your listeners just a little bit of history, how after you retired, and what is the show about, and what is your book about? We want to like to know, what is your book about? How did you come up to write your book, and where you got your ideas from on that?
Okay. All right, guys. I was riding in. I was listening to Joel Osteen, the great minister that be out. He's interviewing athletes, different people is like we're doing right now. And he had the coach from Clemson, football coach, just then was on the show. And I left his name because you're a Clemson guy. So he was on the show.
Dabo Sweeney.
And he was on there. So he did the same thing. He asked the same question. Great man. I really respect him more. He had Andre Reed on, some other rappers. And I'm probably going to be on that show as well. So when you ask me, well, you've been through all this, they say, I look back now, and when you say, you don't let people define what you try to start out doing things in life. And when I started out in the country town, so small, no stop signs, and now I look back And when I started that, I did not know what was going to happen in my life. I just know I wanted to go somewhere and get out of there and do something good for myself. And when I got up to that platform and got out of there and going through not having money, going through this life, but I always played baseball. Been in a lot of World Series. I was an 8-year-old kid. Went to Mississippi and played down there. My first World Series. And met Dizzy Dean. Came back through and watched Hank Aaron hit a home run, which we just lost to King here the other day. And we all just still just looking back on how much he did for this country, not on Atlanta and everything. So everybody wanted to be Hank, Willie Mays, Pete Rose. We just had certain people we wanted to be like. So my guy I got to meet face to face was Hank Aaron. I never hit that many home runs, but I made the catch, they say, like Willie Mays. And when I got to meet Willie Mays, he said, "Boy, you try to be like me. You try to make a catch." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Ways. I tried my best." He said, "You did a good job, son." Out of Willie Mays' mouth, he told me, "Your catch was just up there with mine." But all that being said, guys, how and what I do, I'm a minister. Now I go around telling my story. And unfortunately, I didn't see ministry on nowhere on my chart when I started out, but I always was in church. I got a book over here that I read every day. And started when I was going through this platform. And I'm looking back now and saw where I started and where they'll say, always say, think with the end in mind. So I started here. And now I went from Evergreen, and I've been all over the world playing baseball all my life. And I said one thing. I looked at, I tell you guys a quick story. They was talking about on the radio. Bill Buckner, one of the greatest first basemen of all time. He died this year, last year, and he had more hits than probably anybody in the game. But he made one mistake in the World Series that he let a ball go between his legs. So did that define him? All those hits and all those gloves he got, guess what they said when they said Bill Buckner died? Remember the guy that let the ball go through his legs? Not the guy with 3,000 hits and all the World Series. He was one of the most feared hitters of all time. That wasn't on top of the. Go ahead. You get ready to say something, Coach?
No. I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing.
When you define yourself, Wes, and they look back, they're going to say, this guy went from little store that I remember packing them in like sardines over there. And we talked, the last time I talked, I said, Wes, I believe with you, you getting ready to get another place. We talked about it, where we can go, how we can be partners. I said, I'm with you. Whatever I need to do and wherever you go. You remember that conversation?
Yes, sir.
I said, Otis, I got the place. I said, let me pray for him because he's telling the field. That was too quick. And lo and behold, Coach Buck, the man, he got more room, still blessing people, getting more in, more giving, more required, and it's expanded. So I go back to Bill Buckner, and you guys stay with me, audience and ladies and gentlemen, because it meant something. And when I go out, and if I don't do signings like I'm doing at your store, in my second stop is going to be in Rome. I'm going to a church where I do a signing, but I'm ministering. So when I started out, just think if I didn't make that catch, I could have been defined totally different. Otis was a good player, but he just never could make it. And he dropped the ball in the outfield. He got on some drugs, and then he got off, and he's a great player. Right on down. That didn't happen to me. I was able to not let the ball go between my legs, but made a catch 30 or 40 years that took us to the World Series, stole 6 bases in a game, played all 9 different teams, and now I'm working with law enforcement. I just left them up there, met with all the sheriffs around. I got more sheriff phone numbers in my book now than I could shake a stick at. They used to pull me up. I told a story. But I told it when I was ministering. I would tell it here on Sunday. I'd give y'all the good clips. I got locked up years ago. And Sheriff Brown was there because he locked me up when I was speaking. I said, Sheriff, do you remember locking him up? He nodded his head. And you remember saying, Otis, I'm going to let you out. But you better not run because, you know, we can't catch you and run your own. Play tomorrow. And Bobby don't really know you locked up right now. We're going to let you out. And you better not run. I said, yes, sir. let me out. I went home, got there the next day, got on first base the first time, I didn't run. Got on the second time, I didn't run. I got on the third time, I didn't run. All the fans and everybody and Bobby was standing there, so he didn't wait until the game was over, called me down the dugout. He said, "What is wrong with you? You ain't running?" I said, "Bobby, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you real quick. I got locked up last night, and Sheriff Brown, he said, 'Sheriff, you got locked?' I said, 'Yeah.' And he told me not to run." So I held my part of the bargain up. And, man, the church, the sheriff laughed, and that's the story. So I didn't run, and
that's a good one.
I held my part.
That is good.
And that's what I do. I tell real life stories.
Right.
They can recognize. I talk with Jermaine, Mr. Odom. I talk with guys that have been through mental breakdowns. Whitney Williams got a movie going out called I'm a Mess or something like that. And it's a big movie coming out. What did she have? She had a mental breakdown. When I came out of sports, I went from nothing all the way up here and got all the way over here. And then when I couldn't play no more, Coach Buck, and we can recognize this.
Right.
Mental breakdown. They took the ball out of my hand. I didn't know what to do. Wes, I didn't know what to do. I felt like a candy, like I wanted to go to the field, but after they retired, you can't go to the field. My life changed, and I went sideways. Some guys can go and stay pretty, but God said, I gave you so much ability like an animal, and you run like one until you can't contain yourself. I couldn't mentally. The money, the fame, the cheering all stopped, and I had a mental breakdown. So what happened now, and Jermaine Denver come on, is what do we do with athletes and people that have, and kids that have mental breakdowns? You see them getting locked up now, so I tell the sheriff, let me have that kid. He's just having a mental breakdown. I can help him. He said, Otis, you can do something that handcuffs and guns can't do. So that's what I'm doing with my time, the Otis Nickel Foundation, going around doing. Most of this money I make is going back in here to go out to help the underprivileged kids. And Wes, I see you shaking your head because we've started this and talked about this. Coach, that's what I do now. So I put my minister hat on, and my book is about the mistakes that I made. My second one coming out later in the year is called Lessons Learned. And when a kid read this book, they'll say, you don't do this, you don't do this, you do this. It's called Lesson Learned. And that's what my book is going to be. My second one, all that I've been through, I'm trying to put it in for any adult to listen and read and say lessons learned.
So with that being said, Mr. Oz, I have a clip right here I want to play for you for your organization and for your book. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Found incredible success in Major League Baseball. He holds records for stolen bases in a single game, as well as a single season for the Atlanta Braves. He played in numerous World Series games and has the record for most career stolen bases from a non-All-Star player with 620. But as high as Otis soared on the field, his personal life hit many lows. Otis has turned these lows into his personal testimony to share with others. Through his Otis Nixon Foundation, he is providing mentoring through various outreach programs. He is also happy to come to your church to share his past and hopefully show others just because you fall down doesn't mean you can't get up. Jesus loves us all, even in our darkest moments. If you would like to help Otis spread his message, please visit his website, www.otisnixon1foundation.org. That's www.otisnixon1foundation.
Yes. Yeah, I felt good. Appreciate y'all coming back to the show. Otis, I commend you on your work. I commend you on your career, your work. And it takes big pride, as you know, we former players, for when you retire and you go through something, to tell that story of what you've been through, where you came from, to help others. I'm a very big believer. If you ain't never went through nothing, you can't teach nobody something. And I commend you on on stepping out on faith and stepping out and helping these young men, these young ladies, and these kids through your life lessons, and even with the books and stuff that you do. I commend you on that, and I appreciate that. And I had a feeling why I used to like you as a baseball player. So now I see why I felt that a long time ago, like I followed you and stuff. So that shows me right there your character and how you are as a human being and as a young man, because a lot of athletes go hide in a shell. They never come out and talk about what they went through in their life to help these young kids. And I know we're not supposed to be role models. They say don't be athletes or role models, but I believe anytime you can touch a young man's heart or a young lady's heart as a former athlete and help them better themselves in life and in school and education, you should do that. And that is what you're doing. You're touching young men and not even young men and young women. You're touching grown folks' lives by telling them your story and where they can understand, hey, if Otis can go through this and bounce back and still be successful, we can too. And I commend you on that, Mr. Otis. I really do. And I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing that with us on that part and that. So let's talk. I know we talked about you coming in. Let's talk about your tour.
Yes.
So my biggest thing was that is I know you got some good guys coming in with you. We have actually interviewed a few of the guys leading up to this Friday. We had Jermaine Jones on Wednesday night. We talked to him. He had a lot of great things, and he's kind of doing, like you said, the same thing you're doing, reaching out, helping former athletes in his program. We got Quincy Carter. We talked to him. I know he's going to be there. Then I know you have your brother, Donald, he's coming down. So you got a nice group of guys that's going to be there with you that day and to share their stories along with you. So just give us a little feedback. How did you come in contact? How you met these guys? I know how you met them, but just let people know how y'all are working together to make this thing come together.
If you go to my website and support my cause, it'll take you there, and you can make a donation. But if you go down, you're going to see Shaq. You're going to see guys that I work with. Jermaine, we work with each other. We support each other. But I want Wes to take off because I watched Quincy go through his mental breakdowns as a quarterback. I watched Jermaine go through. So we all in the same thing, but if just as people, you don't have to be athlete to do what we do. So it started with Wes. So we're the side. So Wes, tell us about what we do and how because last time I came up, W.A.B.Sports-Talk, he said, Otis, I need you to get some guys up here. So we started this thing, and next thing I got more guys now wanting to come as I talked to Andrew, and I said, hey, brother, you like what this man is doing up here. He'll promote. He won't ask time. He'll give to your foundation. He'll make sure you go out with hats. They feed you good. Tell us about how you give me your opinion about how we started, what we do it. Then I interject, and I tell you a little bit more of what we got to come and more about it.
Okay. Go ahead. Coach Buck, did you say something?
No, he asked, did you hear he was wanting you to give your opinion on how y'all got started and all the things you're doing up there in your community with you and Otis, and he's going to interject on after you start off.
Well, thanks to Otis, I told this story a long time ago, and Otis knows about the story. I started out in the little small building that we laugh about today, and I've grown into a bigger building. But the story, Otis has heard it, and a lot of people have heard it. It started out with a Marlo Herrera, and a Marlo, I reached out to all the Georgia players that I could think of to get us to come to our store, and it started out with that. Well, we ended up, Marlo came in, we got it started, and I was like, and my girlfriend Julie goes, well, we might ought to think about some of this. A lot of people like this. And so I was like, yeah. And so I have a group called Kirby Smart UGA Family, and me and Bridget Bellamy decided to, her son was getting abused about his player, how he played, and they just bullied him, a lot of Georgia fans. And I said, well, I'm going to make a group. I don't know what I'm doing, but I will make a group called Kirby Smart UGA Family. And me and you and Kim Catalina, we've still got that group, and it's got over 4,000 people. Well, his mother, Davin's mother, me and her worked together to get Davin at the store. And then go fast forward, I had a friend, Gary Green, that told me about a guy named James Nams. And he said, this guy knows everybody. He knows everybody. There's not nobody he don't know. And he said, he knows Otis Nixon. I went, yeah, sure. He knows Otis Nixon. Big deal. He does not know Otis Nixon. Otis Nixon is now talking to me now because of James Nims. So Otis did this. He came to the store. We've hooked up. And I said, I just called him off the guard for the Facebook thing. I said, well, Otis, who's next? And I thought, he said, oh, we'll see what we can do. Otis right then said, I think I'm going to bring my good friend John Rocker. And then Otis just kept it going, and then I kept it going. And thanks to his foundation, he is actually what really got us off the ground with all his celebrities.
See, there you go. Blessing, and helping. So that just shows you how good of a man he is.
Yeah, he is.
And everything. And even as he played ball on that level, and how he can sit there and recognize a young man as yourself doing such a good job. So what I like to do right here, Otis, before you interact, I have a nice little clip for Mr. West I like to play where to show the fans where they need to go. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Thank you.
Yes,
awesome.
Yes. So, you like that? So, well, Mr. Otis, what can you piggyback off of what Mr. West said? He's very excited, and he understands that he's had the opportunity that you're being part of his group and his show. Like I say, you're doing a great thing, reaching out to these guys. How you feel? And
Wes, what is your bride's name? What's her name?
My girlfriend?
Yes.
Julie.
Well, yeah. I tell you that I piggyback. Wes really don't do nothing but talk. That's who runs the business.
Yeah, Julie runs the camera. He's right.
Hold on. If you really want to know when you come to the store, Julie runs his stuff, and she knows where everything is. He points around, looking all around. I see it with my own eyes. She knows everything in there and helped us when we there. It's two of them working together. They're great pair, so I have to give a big shout out to Julie for keeping all of us straight, including
Otis.
That's Julie. Thank you very much for what you do. She'll pop in, but she won't stay long, and I can't get her to talk because that's what Wes does. But she's got this thing so strategically organized until we just don't have to. I mean, the way they dress the tables, the layout, the pins, it's very well done with what you got. So that's how the growth of this thing took off. And after I saw that not only I got police guys that work up there. One guy's bigger than you, Buck, and that's my best friend. Sheriff's Department. So that following what they got makes it easy because the guys asked me, Otis, we've been to these places and they all over the place. And I said, you go here, you're going to have organization, security, fed good. You're going to make what you need to make. You're going to have all what you need. So we talk. If you had to go somewhere and had to do something, Coach, you'll want to know what you're going into. My word is good with the guys I bring in. And I'm very excited to bring my brother in, Donnell. And I got this poster that we got now this, with both of us on running. This is a very valuable piece. I got people calling everywhere trying to buy it, but guess where they got to start to get it first? JW Sports, okay? And then after then, we'll release another 100. After then, we'll release another 100, and then we stop it. And that's when, if you don't know how to value go, when you stop something, everybody goes up. To get two brothers on there that stole over 100 and some bases each per year, it's never happened before. So we're going to keep it that way, and we might stop it. And now you can get the big ones, but you got to go through JW Sports to get the big ones, and they become valuable. So that's what we realized, that we had a piece of history. And when it's all done and said, and we can look back between my brother, not only you go to my hometown and you got Otis and Donnell Nixon Road, used to be a dirt road, now it's a paved road. And everybody on that road, they get their mail with our name on it. We redid the church there. And we're going back to do something. And I'll tell you something, when I came up with this, I'm from North Carolina, guys, and I went to the University of North Carolina. And now, if you read up on North Carolina, the worst place to live right now in the United States is Lumberton, North Carolina. Not too far from where I grew up. And when I saw that, it sort of didn't feel good in my body, because it's very dangerous with the drugs, alcohol, and what's going on down here. That's where Michael Jordan's dad stopped to get a burger and fell asleep. That's where they killed him at. It's in the paper. Don't stop through this area because it's so dangerous. And I read this other day, so I put that there. But certain things we can't stop. And what happened, I believe, it just got this epidemic, Corona. It got us in a place that, and I tell everybody, how do you get out of a hole? Stop digging. So we got our country in a hole, Lumberton in a hole. I've been in a hole. I know when to put the shovel down and start climbing. Not people keep digging deeper and deeper. And our country almost got in this situation. And it's going to take some time for us to pull this thing back together as people on one accord, one page, one game, one run at a time. They're going to open baseball on time. That's going to be some healing. That does something where people can watch baseball and not be stuck in no baseball, no concerts. It put us in a different realm. We used to get out of the United States, and I'm going somewhere with this. So, and this is why I didn't do any shows. I had to stop myself. So this is my first really major tour going out, and people are excited about it. I'm going to be going down to spring training and doing one thing, then I'm coming back in. Second one is over in Rome. I'll be in Rome on February 21st. You go on my website, and on my website next week, I have the schedule, the time, where I'm going to be at, and that's what I got going on. And as I look here, guys, let me tell you what happened. I was asked to sign up with Braves fans, with fans across on Facebook. They got groups. That's how James Nims and a few other guys that's going to be coming up. So I joined. I talked to more fans than I ever did when I was playing, because they don't get to talk to us like that. So I'm talking to them. Oh, I never something. They ask y'all kind of questions, but they love the game, so they can't believe. First of all, they couldn't believe I was on the phone with them. Are you really you? Are you really older? Are you really? And we get there, and then now the rest of everybody say on the phone. So I look at one group at one time right now. People are on Facebook one time, one group.
Right.
Next group got 29,000. The next group, because of Boston, that Boston group has got the 9,000 or whatever. That's 50,000 people. If everybody got on at one time, like right now, it would be over 50,000 people listening to us right now. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen because, and they go out if they can, and they can get on and see this live. That's what's going on with what I got. So now everybody's trying to get a photo, this first photo in the groups and everything. They following what we're doing, Wes, because when we started, we didn't have this many followers. I personally signed up with these groups from Boston, the Braves, and one other group. But anyhow, it's been exciting. It's been different, but it's a good thing, because when I go to a sheriff's office or if I go out to a school, they commend me on what I'm doing, where you're going to be going. And guys, what happens with this? It puts you in a unique place. So now I can't go to the places I used to go. I can't hang out with the people I used to hang out with because guess what? I got 59,000 followers Facebook that would call you out, but they love you. And I'm not perfect, but this is where I want to make myself. I want to make myself a different platform. I went down there with Governor. Our governor, I love him to death. And he said, chop on, Otis. I mean, you mean Governor like this, and I'll show you a picture if I had it. But he said, I love what you're doing. So I went down into the Capitol, and I was going in the front. They said, no, you need to come in the back. So I went around where he come in. He's got state troopers back there. They said, let's just come this way and pull behind us. I pulled behind 4 state troopers. They got the hats. They didn't even search me because, I'm carrying license, carrying nothing. But they came in, the governor's waiting for you, want to take you in. I said, I looked back over, I said, guys, I'm parked behind y'all. I said, do y'all remember being behind me? He said, we don't, but we get the call that back in the day, like we got Otis, so, let's be a little careful. And I remember that. Now I can pull up with state troopers, sheriffs, and park behind them, with them. So when I go out, not only 50,000, but I work with law enforcement now.
Right,
so
right.
My program is called the Virgin Program. If your kid is in trouble, he's got an option, if he's not an adult, to go through the program. Drugs, I call mental breakdown, whatever it might be, getting on track, getting a job. It can turn it from a misdemeanor, a felony from a misdemeanor if you go through the program. Get your life back on track. That's all it is. And when we do that, the judge listens to what I say when I go in the courtroom. And that's a good thing. So that diversion program work. When I tell them I work with law enforcement, and I got their and Shaq now is a deputy. He was endorsed last week. I don't know if y'all saw that over here, right across over in Henry County, which I know Sheriff Scandrick because I helped him run and he won it. And he Shaq has got a badge. Shaq can lock you up, and that's what we got going on. We work with each other. So as I do all these signings, Coach Buck and Wes, I love what you're doing because that area up there has softened up a little bit. I can't remember he's a hunter. He talks a lot. He's a brother. Notice one thing you can't do is out-cook me, out-talk me, and out-hunt me. What is his name?
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. Coach, if you get him on here, we just sit back and you want a guy to talk for an hour and how good he can cook, how he can hunt, and you can't out-talk him. You agree?
Right.
Michael Carter, I give you a big shout out tonight because I know you're on there listening. I'll see you up there when I come. I want you to bring your son out because his son, when I got the chance to talk with him. But these are the things you become personal with people up there. And and that's what I really enjoy. So it helps me just as much as it helps the other one. I got twin boys, identical young me's, look just like me. They did not play baseball, and one of them told me a few years ago, Dad, I feel like I let you down.
Right.
Only thing they wouldn't pick up was the baseball. They had they picked up girls, but they didn't pick up baseball. I said, son, you didn't let me down. What you do is from this day forward, you do the best you can do in what you do, but do it good. Because one thing about it, you got my name on your back and your driver's license. Don't take one of them. I'm not going to beat you, but I will take either one of them from you. And that's the way I talk to them. And he understood that. I broke it down, didn't have to yell and scream. And they made their little mistakes right in my house, outside, but I watched them mature. And sometimes it takes some kids a little bit longer to mature than others. And you got to work with them because I was one, Coach Buck, that I couldn't quite get the whole game together when I was young. If they'd gave up on me early in my career,
right,
than who I was here now. So I've learned to be patient with kids, and whether they're it's mentally, whether schoolwork or trouble. That's my gift as a minister, that God has given me to be able to work with individuals, and it pays off now.
Right. As you go, I like that. Did you see your question at the bottom of the screen, Mr. Otis?
How do you feel about the All-Star baseball game and derby taking place in Atlanta this year? Okay, this is the first time it's going to be here ever, and we got a brand new stadium. I got everybody, John Dick and their mama, calling me for All-Star tickets. The least amount of ticket is like, you want to be in the nosebleed? It's like $300 or $400. I personally, now we're just getting in to see how we're going to get, how many tickets we can get and what we can get. If you can get in that stadium, then those 3 days, it's going to be one time they'll come back, because it might be 10 years, 20 years before you can get in, or watch it on TV recorded. So everybody can't be in it. And we don't know what the pandemic going to be at the time. So with that being said, I'm excited about it. You know, I'm very excited about it being here in Atlanta. And what an All-Star game would do, it'll make everybody forget about being negative. Baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolet brings something to America. That's what I can't wait to be excited. Everybody concentrate on the positive and the home runs and eating popcorn and enjoying themselves, and that's what it does. So we get back to it. Yep. Good question.
That was a good question. That was one of the fans out there had a question that popped in. The one asked, I wanted you to answer that question. Well, let's go back over to Mr. West. Mr. West, let's talk about on next week on the 13th. Let's talk about your setup and let the fans and let the people know what's the setup and what's the rules and regulations. How many people is allowed in the store at a time to see face to face? Are you going to have a Tron set up outside of people sitting outside that can see inside the store? Just let them know what they're coming to when they get there to come for that weekend. I got a feeling it's going to be a big weekend.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time Otis shows up, we really have to prepare, because he really brings a lot of people in, and his guests when he brings them in. But yes, they will be social distance. We actually got stickers where they got to put their feet 6 feet apart. So the tables will be where they can see Otis and all the guys that's coming, but they have to go by the guidelines. A lot of people will probably be upset when they get their picture with Otis, and Otis will probably have his mask on. He just turned 62, and we want to keep Otis around for as long as we can. And this COVID's pretty bad, so we want to make sure we take care of him, and we want to make sure we take care of everybody in Chatsworth that comes out, either Dalton or wherever. We just want to make sure that we are safe, and we make sure everybody else is safe. The last few signings I've had, the guys have actually made sure that we did have the mask. So we're going to make this a point. Huh? Yeah, we have masks furnished. When they walk in, if they don't have one, we will give them one, because I got it right here at the register. So, but yeah, we're going to make sure when this is all laid out, and Otis is excited about this, we're going to have Southern Munch again.
That's one of my favorite parts up there. They got some great food.
That's the best part that Otis likes. And Quincy Carter loves the ribeye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to interject right here quickly. Guys, how would help us this time, believe it or not? I know everybody would like to come in and see you face to face. So I'm going to come back. So once this thing drops down, we're going to make another reappearance so we can do without masks a little bit later on in the year. But right now, it's very important that you get to meet me and my brother and the other guys all at one time. But to prepay it and get your photos or get the one signed by me and my brother, if you call the store, you got the number on here, and tell him that I want Otis's picture signed, I want Donnell and his brother signed. Julie and them, they would help you with that. That'll help things move along. And if you already prepaid, you can come. I think that would give us advantage to how to go about doing it. They shouldn't be able to stand and wait if they prepaid. Let's think about that, Wes. And that's what
we will.
I suggest. That one other guy suggested that, so we're going to do that there. And they get their stuff. They might not want to come. I can't make it this time because we got people get off from work, and they can't get off from work, and they can't stand in line. Let's help them get through this little snag and the epidemic and everything by prepaying and calling the store. Not paying me. Don't go online. pay you guys, and then we'll work it out, and you tell me what we need so we can bring it and have it there, send up early. So you guys do a good job. I mean, Julie, you do a good job.
Julie, I knew you was going to throw that in there.
Thank you, Otis.
She said, "Thank you, Otis." She's over here passing stuff.
I hear you.
He hears you. But yeah, Otis has really done a lot to help our business. I mean, he goes out and sees all these different people, and they said, "Yeah, this guy, he's just genuine." And Otis likes it because every time, Coach Buck, we go live, I don't rehearse it. It's just right off the top of my head, and Otis is looking at me trying to figure out what we're going to do next.
You're very good at what you do. You got that personality, even when you wear your hat. You didn't have a hat on the other day, and I was like, "What is wrong with him?" I saw you. Okay. I don't know where it was. You said, "Hold on, I'm gonna get another hat," and you put on. But that you do your thing. It's always, you go on these shows. It's called the stars when they singing on TV. They always got a guy with the mic that's talking to the audience.
Right.
You do it. Well, I don't want to do it. Judy don't want to do it. John don't want to do it. But that's your spotlight. You do it well. You make the fans and get involved in what you got, the new stuff that's coming in, what you got going out, what do you need. That's the personality. That's why you growing. And I don't know, but I can see another location somewhere else. Y'all never leave that one. But I see something come down, and if it's another one you're going to open, let me know first, because I might do one here in Atlanta, Georgia.
I got a good friend, Thomas Flowers. He said he wants to run it for me because he likes the way we're doing everything. He said, "I'll be the manager, man." He played for the Georgia Bulldogs, cornerback. And he said it was funny. He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Sounds like you're going to really grow. Can I just be the manager of them stores? Put one in Atlanta." So he's wanting to do the same thing, Otis.
You're working on something, brother. I see the magnitude of the growth of it, and that's where they started with the computers with what's the Microsoft guy's name?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Garage, and then his neighbor started another one in the garage. Now, he can just sit back and drift. So we mention it to everybody right now and say, "Hey, we heard it from Wes and Otis." So stay tuned and hang on.
Yep. That's it. And I posted on as y'all listeners, I posted things that Otis, they had the pictures and stuff is in the chat line. If you have any questions for Mr. West or Mr. Otis, feel free to ask questions now about the signing or about baseball, period, or just about life. We on the air to help as we're talking about this wonderful signing coming up next week on the 13th. The time, what is the time the people can get there, and can they get there early or?
Well, the way I do it, Coach Buck and Otis knows the way I do it. I mean, he's shocked that I do it just the way I do it. A lot of people just sit back and say, "Okay, we'll just open up on a signing." I pretend it's just another day. But the surprise is when you get to meet a celebrity like Otis Nixon. I open up at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we usually close until 3. Well, Otis, you've got it down for 4:30. You know better.
They won't stop. I tell you, he stopped at 3 and he look outside and the line is still there. Are they driving? Are they calling? And I say, "Well, somebody's on the way. Somebody just paid for another one." I don't stop that train. And I've been very good. You guys have been good to where they had to stay there one night about 6:30. You remember that first time around?
Oh, yeah, man.
We got some Georgia Bulldogs guy there. We got a basketball guy. We got baseball. We got a quarterback who was, I think Quincy just had a gift. He reminded me of a young Michael Vick at one time in his life and turning his life around and what he's doing. I'm sort of excited about it. But the next one that we got coming in later in the year, I'm bringing in some old school Atlanta Braves that played the game very well. And I can't tell you right now, but we'll talk about that later. And you're going to be very happy about one guy that agreed that y'all do it right up there. Coach, but when you do it right, we'll come. If you don't do it right and treat my guys right, then we all shut out, and we ain't shut off. It's just getting really good now. And it's baseball season. Guess what? Spring training is right around the corner. Do you know opening day is only X amount of days before opening day? Not spring training. Spring training is only 20 days away. They'll be down there throwing and hitting baseballs here in just a few days from now. And that's exciting. People can't wait. Every baseball click out here. It's going to change the world. The game is going to change. And that's what we need to get this shot in the arm, not on the vaccine, but we need our baseball.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So hold that thought right there, guys. We're taking a commercial break. We'll be right back after this moment.
And sportsmanship have seemingly disappeared, Coach Wayne Buckingham started W.A.B. Sports. His focus is on mentoring our younger generation and teaching valuable life skills that go way beyond the field of play. Whether it's football or basketball, he has a specialized sports camp designed to address the challenges the youth of today face daily. He believes it's all about teaching healthy habits now in order for those lessons to be applied to their future decisions. W.A.B. Sports raises the money for these camps with various charity golf tournaments yearly. W.A.B. Sports also offers scholarships so that these young men and women have a greater chance at success in their life after sports. Coach Wayne truly believes the best thing in life is making a positive difference. W.A.B. Sports depends solely on donations. If you feel led to donate, contact Coach Wayne Buckingham at WABSports4@gmail.com. That's WABSports4@gmail.com.
Yes, we're back here with Mr. Otis Nixon and Mr. West for our interview for tonight. If you have any questions out there for Mr. Otis or Mr. West, feel free to time in on the timeline of signing or just about life in general. We have time to give you some questions of our viewers that's out there, everything, and that's what we're here for. And make sure you mark down the date. Office. Make sure you mark down the date for next week on the 13th. Starts at 11 o'clock to 4, but they will be there. If you sign for autograph, we'll be staying late to make sure all the fans get their autograph signed and their pictures and everything. And as you hear, make sure you stay to stay W.A.B.Sports-Talk. We're here for just to help out the young, and we have a lot of great things going on this summer. We do golf tournaments, football camp scholarship for kids, and everything. So if you have a chance to go to WABSports.com and check out our page. So Mr. Otis, we're so proud of you, man, and coming up there. And I know don't forget now, I put my order in for my
jersey.
My jersey. I can't wait to get my Otis Nixon jersey. Got me. And, so Mr. Otis, this is off the subject bit. I just want to get your intake off of like you said, we just had a great icon that passed away a couple of weeks ago, a good friend of yours and stuff. And just want to get your intake off of that. And what do you remember about Hank and everything? Just just a little bit based on that. Let the fans, let the people know about that.
Okay, we can hear you. Wes, is he breaking up a little bit on you?
Yeah, he's breaking up just a tad.
Just a tad, but we can now see. I can hear him well, but I got everything you said.
Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna wrap it back around because you and I do a very big baseball golf.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Coach Buck.
We can
hear you now.
We do golf tournaments later in September.
Hello.
Go to my website. If you really want to meet all these stars, John Smokes and Chipper, Ryan Gann and Terry Pillington, Smith and Avery.
Can you hear me?
They are actually at my golf tournament, which is going to be September the 13th or the 14th of September. We moved it back. That's a big show. That's at the latter part of the year.
Hello.
Coach Buck is going to be down there.
Having a difficult.
Yeah, he's having difficulties right now.
We can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
What about now?
We can hear you very well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Let me request it.
Yes, I got.
Yeah, he actually was answering it, Coach Buck.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna keep, but Coach, stay right where you at. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. And you was asking me about Hank Aaron, the king of baseball. We not only lost Hank Aaron, we lost Phil Necro, Don Sutton, Tom Lasorda. It was some big names that just went and down. And I do this, and I want you guys, because I love Hank.
Yeah.
Talking about him, how much.
Can y'all hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. It's working. Okay.
You.
All right. You good? About your golf tournament, Otis, and
we got
okay.
you. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure you got that out.
Something's going on with his audio a little bit.
Yeah, something's going on with his audio. He's like talking ahead and then it's going away.
Yeah,
like
take a minute, let you adjust it, and then try it again. Just hit auto, cut it off, and move it back in and see what happens.
All right. Yeah.
And actually, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep Coach Buck. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking.
We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep talking.
So what I'm doing is talking about Don Sutton, Tom Lasorda. I got to play for Tom Lasorda. Died at 92, 93 years old. One of the greatest of all time. Hank Aaron. You got these are the ones that we stood on their shoulders to get to where we were at. We had to go through the door.
So, any stories that you can tell us about Hank, some of them guys? I know you've been around.
He's doing it now, Coach Buck.
I will. You want me to tell you a story about one of them? Okay. Let me put my pastor hat on. Hank Aaron just died the other day, and when he went to heaven, and when he got up there, St. Pete was there, and he had a pen in his hand. When he walked in, Hank walked up to the pearly gates, and St. Pete said, "Brother, I've been waiting for you. Can I get your autograph right now?" They was waiting for the king to come to heaven, and he's up there, and St. Pete got his autograph. So we got in, and then he got up there, and Baby Ruth was there. And Baby Ruth said, "What you mean? Who's playing right field?" He said, "Man, this rookie named Hank Aaron is playing down there. He hit 755 homers." He said, "I should be playing right field." No, Aaron is right field, and Babe Ruth, you pitching tonight. All these little stories, these kids like to hear the human. All have to die one day and go over. But when you leave this magnitude on earth that Hank Aaron left when he left here, and all the home runs, but what he went through, I couldn't imagine in my right mind going through there. Coach Buck, I'd have picked up my bags and my suitcase, got back on the first thing smoking, but he led us through the wilderness to get over. For everybody in the world, everybody loved Hank that I know of.
Right. That's good, man. And I used to watch him play back. I kind of keep up, like I told you back in the day. I keep up with baseball and y'all guys, and I didn't get to meet Hank back in the day and stuff, but I got an opportunity to meet some of y'all older younger guys. So I feel thrilled about meeting you and being a part. And I love baseball. I play basketball, but I love baseball.
Did you play in the Coach Buck? Did you play in the baseball? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I played baseball when I was in junior high. Okay. I went to the Little League World Series. I went to the Little League World Series up here out of Tennessee. I wasn't little though. I was big, but I wasn't little.
Yeah, you got some athleticism. You might be big, but see, you can move. You got he can move. Even though he's big, he always can move. Out basketball, football, and he decided to go. And you told me the story about why you decided to go basketball of all the sports. They thought probably, Big Buck gonna go in football.
Yeah.
Go and you guess what? Because you can do this.
Right, yep. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. And
Coach Buck, I got a question. Who's the better golfer between you and Otis?
There you go. Why y'all always want to?
I had to ask it.
Hey, I know Otis got a good game, but the athlete in me, how I love to compete, I'll be right there. I got to put myself right there. I mean, I've been playing. Hey, he's older than me, but I've been playing ever since college. Like
you one question, and he went all the way around the block and won't answer the question. See how he throwing y'all? Yeah. I know what he's doing.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Otis. Hey, Otis. This is what I'm gonna do. Since I'm the rookie, you're the vet. You older than me. Like I'm like talking to Michael Jordan right now. I'm gonna be humble and say, you know what? I give it to Otis.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you slide out of that one, but
I'm gonna bow down for my respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect my elders.
When you come down to Atlanta, we talking about getting together before. We're gonna have a practice round. I'll take you out to any course, nice course, just me and you, maybe Marquise Grissom, and we'll play a little practice round.
Okay.
Let me fill this out, then I'm gonna go back to West and give him the real deal on what really took place without all this.
Yes.
Hey, Wes.
All this extra, Wes.
Hey, Wes. Hey,
yeah.
Watch. Hey, let me show you something right quick.
Okay. He's got his golf clubs. Ooh.
Man,
yeah.
You know strokes. Hey, Coach, come back around here. Let me tell you.
Come on here.
I ain't giving you you ain't tricking me. Hold on. This happened to me up here when I was with Tim Tebow about a couple months ago.
Okay.
He's a better football player, but I asked him to do one thing. Y'all might have saw the video. One thing. I said, I'm 61. Let's get a $10,000 race and get back to charity right now. He said, notice.
I remember this.
Dude, guess what, Buck? I'm going to play you, but I ain't giving you no strokes. I'm not giving you no strokes. I see what I need to see.
He did.
Hey, Otis. It's like that. We talk a lot of noise, but I play golf every other day. I play golf every other day. I love golf. So you know why? I'm telling you, how the story you told your story. I had to find something after I retired that I can do. I only do two things. Well, I take it back, do three things. I help everybody I can help. Work with kids. I go fishing. I play golf. Do my golf. I turn off my phone. That's my getaway. I don't talk to nobody. I play the course.
We going down. I'm watching the clock. I got somebody else I need to go see, but I want to finish up here. That West we talked about. We plugged what we got to do, but let me go back over to Coach Buck.
Yes, sir.
My little brother. I love him to death, and I'm so proud of what you're doing and the opportunities you're opening up for us to promote and help and coach and still be in your own platform that you feel good. Like Dion said, you feel good. If you want to play, you play good, feel good, dress good, you'll probably play good. So we found our niche to help other people. Don't it feel good, Coach?
Yes, sir. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole. I tell you, we all former athletes. We all played on different levels, but the main goal out of this is touching some young man, some lady's heart, or some older folks. Because just how I feel about you, as you being one of my favorite baseball players, it thrills me to death to have you on my show. It thrills me to death to sit down and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I was little, looking up to you, and I was fast, but I wasn't that fast. I ran at 6'10". I ran a 4.540. You know what I'm saying? So back then that was pretty good.
That's about 3 seconds behind me, Buck. Okay.
Hey, one thing for sure. Hey, I ain't trying to keep up with you on that, bro.
Coach Buck.
I take it and I want to make sure I put this in, because what we try to do when you got youth and you're an athlete, and I tell all athletes, if you got a good arm, you're fast, you're strong, whatever you're doing as an athlete, do it as best you can every day and every minute you get the chance to do it. Because when you are this fast, and Dion said it best, I did it the best I could do it, because one day I knew I wasn't going to be this fast anymore. So we put everything we can put in right now, right then, because it's going to slow down where you can't do it no more. So I tell every athlete, let me give you this nugget. Don't leave nothing unturned. Give it all you got. So when the lights go out, you say, job well done. That came from the hammer. Hank Aaron just said, so you don't have to worry about and look back over your shoulder. And he didn't leave nothing out there unturned.
Right. Now well said. Oh, it's well said. And I appreciate y'all guys. Oh, hold on, Miss West. I think you had a question.
Yes, sir. Otis, y'all saw the video, and my guy Obina, and I've talked to you about. I got the website, Otis, W.A.B.Sports-Apparel.com, and Obina is the one who made that video for Coach Buck. He made it for all of us, and he is my web guy, and he's just knocked it out of the park. I think Coach Buck actually liked what he saw. But I had to give Obina a shout out, and my website, JandWSports.com.
He did a good job, man. I've seen some websites, and actually I'm trying to get my website to come up, if not on the trade. Right? So now I know who did it, because I thought Coach Buck was doing it, but you just threw a
No, it was Obina. Yeah. I call him Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Tell him I'm going to reach out to him in about a week or two, and we're thinking about getting that versions put up somehow or another and doing some twists on some of the footage. You got to have a little twist to be able to get around this thing, and the way he went about doing it. Tell him a good job, well done.
Well, he told me, I told him, I said, yeah, Otis put it on his page, and then Coach Buck did too. And he said that made his day. He's a young kid, and he's doing a great job on my website. And anything we throw at him, he pretty much can make you, Coach Buck, if you want some videos. The guy's great. Obina's a very talented kid.
Right. Appreciate that. With that said, so what I want to do here, we kind of went over an hour, but it's fine. Enjoyed myself. I really did, and I want to say, everybody, stay, look at the bottom and make sure you stay tuned for next week. We'll be up in. I always mess that name up.
Chatsworth, Georgia.
Can you hear me? Chatsworth, Georgia.
We can hear you.
Otis Nixon brother, with Big Brothers tour with Mr. Otis Nixon and friends. Make sure you show up and show out. Help us raise this money for his organization. He's helping a whole lot of kids, and not just only in his area, but he helped kids all over the world by what he does. So we'll be there. We'll be there on the 13th. W.A.B. Sports Talk will be there live, interviewing and broadcasting. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 331-472-9828, or you can give Mr. West a call at
706-971-3385.
Right, and just everything's at the bottom of the post. And we appreciate y'all being a part of the show tonight. Otis, I want to thank you for coming on again. It's always a pleasure catching up with your brother and spending time with you, and taking out your busy schedule. And we'll see y'all next week, next on the 13th, okay? I'm going to leave out with this commercial, and we're done.
Sportsmanship have seemingly disappeared. Coach Wayne Buckingham started W.A.B. Sports. His focus is on mentoring our younger generation and teaching valuable life skills that go way beyond the field of play. Whether it's football or basketball, he has a specialized sports camp designed to address the challenges the youth of today face daily. He believes it's all about teaching healthy habits now in order for those lessons to be applied to their future decisions. W.A.B. Sports raises the money for these camps with various charity golf tournaments yearly. W.A.B. Sports also offers scholarships so that these young men and women have a greater chance at success in their life after sports. Coach Wayne truly believes the best thing in life is making a positive difference. W.A.B. Sports depends solely on donation. If you feel led to donate, contact Coach Wayne Buckingham at WABsports4@gmail.com. That's WAB Sports 4